And then I'm a great friend, Ryan Cottingham here. You know, Team Blue, so I wore the colors today, so I thought I'd be okay. I wore the blue, he'd help me. So let me just go over the pattern real quick. You know, tomorrow we do the 14 through 18 first, then 14 through 18 first, awards. After the awards, I think I let you come in for the walk. That's probably what's going to happen. But check me on that. We might walk, if they have a calculation or something, then we might walk, but I have a feeling we're going to do the awards first, then I'll fix the pattern, we'll walk the 13 under show first, and then there'll be another walk before the level 1, okay? There'll be a second walk for the level 1, 13 under and 14 through 18. So we'll do several walks tomorrow. But first of all, okay, so I admit that I didn't get this walkover set very well, but this is what we're going to do for the ride the pattern. We'll walk over the 3 poles here, single stride walks on the first 3 poles. I think he measured at 6 in here. It doesn't have to be 3, it could be 2, 3, or 4. There's an option line from pole 3 to pole 4. Usually we don't make you cut too hard, so I bet you there's 6 foot like dead center in here. Step, step, single, single. We'll probably shape this a little bit better with the bigger arena. Come around here, right lead lope. We'll lope the first set of diagonals here. I'm going to tell you this is harder than it looks, okay? I tried this at home one day and it's pretty hard. Lope the 2. Keep loping on the right lead. Lope back over the 3 poles going the second direction. We'll break to a jog, and this one's tricky too because usually you would think that I'm going to push you to the outside of that first cone, but the first cone's definitely on your left, okay? So this doesn't feel right for some reason, so you have to come in, cut in early, okay? So cut. First cone is on your left with an empty gap. White cone's on your left. Jog over this first green pole, preferably with your right front foot. Come back around on the second side. Jog the first pole, preferably on the front left foot first, through the empty gap. Then your next transition to a left lead lope from trot to lope, left lead lope. Ideally or normal is like 3 strides in that first quadrant, 3 strides in the other quadrant. You know, since it's ride the parrot, I would definitely give you a tip of the day on this one, because I coach this in the clinics all the time. What happens is as you get over the 5th pole you get over here and you get nervous and you start looking for pole 6, and so you start looking left, and by the time you get here, you're swinging to the pole and you're going to cut all your room up. Like if I'm clinicking, I'm going to tell you guys, you better at least land 3 or 4 times in a straight line here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, so you have a decent chance to get that runway back. Okay? So this is super tricky here. I mean, you're going to just jump those 2, look left, and you're going to just break into the hole. So super careful here. If you can come out a little further, I like to say they're 2 isolated obstacles. The first 5 poles is one obstacle. The 2 poles on the end is another obstacle. Because when you attach them, you're going to be in a hurry to get back. The second part of this trick or tip of the day here on this one is whenever you go over a pole twice, in a circular direction, it's super easy the second time around to go back left. When you come around here the second time, as you get here, your horses think left because you've just been there. You better be careful that you need to stay straight. Lean out a little bit, stay straight. I'm going to tell you, you're going to be tempted to go that way. You're going to be tempted to lean to the left. Make sure you transfer the trot. There's only 3 poles here. I'll take one out. So there's 3 jog overs transferring from the lope down to the trot. We'll jog over 3 poles here, and you need to trot all the way into the box. You need to trot all the way into the box. I like to stop in the center of the box, so I have room on both sides. You need to turn left, 180 to the left, it has to be left. Another tip of the day here is like when I do this turn and I get set, you need to let your horse balance out before you back up. Because if you're turning and his hock is underneath him a little bit and you start backing, he's going to open his legs up. So after you finish that half turn, you need to let him situate his legs before you call for the back. You think it's easy to do, but it's not for the horse. Turning, squatting, you got to kind of get him back to like a table, then say back. back to the gate. So you can stop and grab the rope and open the gate, or you can grab and go. You don't have to stop. You can stop as long as you do it nicely. Grab and go. Walk over the pole. We like your left front leg to be the leader on this one. Turn, back, straight, stop, straight. Make sure his head is straight and close. You don't have to grab and go, okay? You can stop. You know, if you're going to do it by a stop, you know, I kind of like to stop with my saddle horn close to the standard here, because if I stop short, which you probably will do, and you stop short and you grab the rope and that rope gets real tight like this, because you're up here, it's not looking too good. So like usually I like to tell them to put the saddle horn closer to the rope when I stop, so when I reach, I still have some slack in the rope. Back. I'm going to go for 3 this time. Stop, back, whoa, close. So you're allowed to walk a few steps off the gate. Then we'll do a left lead lope with a stride roll 2 on front here. So you need to giddy up and go a little bit. 2 on the big one, 2 on the bend. You can go in a little bit and shorten it up a little bit. A 6 to a 6 to a 6. Then crack down, break to a jog. Shape the first set of green trot overs. Stride roll 2 in the second gap here. So it's kind of an option what you do on the first gap, but you ought to get 2. You ought to get 2. You definitely have to get 2 in this one, and you ought to get 2 in the third space. Then pick up a right lead lope. Lope the right lead. We'll cover the 4 poles here. Step back. Jump, 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 jump. Then we'll break down to a jog. So out here on the second line between the pink and the white, the second stripe is probably about 12 feet, okay? So I'm trying to get you away from the 3 stride line. So we kind of like 4 in each gap here. One, 2, 3, 4. Push. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the final obstacle is this, okay? You stop or break to a walk. Determine if you want a side pass to the right or to the left. So whatever stripe's on this side, the green stripe, the second stripe is kind of what you ought to be on. The second stripe here, and I would side pass closer to the second stripe over there. Like I would get on the pole here, even on this line is okay, and then side pass across the board, tell you about here. Or here, side pass till each one shoulder's on the green, and get off the pole here, okay? So one thing, like I coach this, okay, or coach an obstacle like this, okay? After you get off the trots here, as you come to the pole, you should have determined which way you're gonna side pass. Like when you're coming here, like you should be on the line, you're gonna side pass. Don't be in the center. Don't stop in the center and then walk to a diagonal to the side you want. I think you gotta pick a side earlier than that. So when you get across here, if I'm gonna go left, I'm gonna come in here, tuck myself in, line up on this pole here, straight, stop or break to a walk over the pole, side pass left. If I was gonna go down this side over here, I would get here, I would get myself lined up so I don't have to do too much work. Stop or break to a walk over the pole, side pass to the right, and walk off the pole. Anyone have any questions on the instructions? Okay. So let's just say this because it's this class. The logs are a wild card tomorrow, okay? Determine if they're coming in or not. They're definitely going to come in for the 14 through 18. I just don't know if I can move them to a place between classes. So they probably won't be so much in the course, but they might be out there, okay? Hopefully a little bit further than you'd like, okay? So I'm just saying the logs could be in play, so that's why they're here, okay? I might not have them in either, okay? If I can figure a way to get them out better, I might pull them out. But I'm going to put them in the warm-up just in case I want to use them, okay? So it's a wild card on the logs, so I definitely think you should go buy the logs, okay? Ryan Conning, are you good? Okay. Well, let Ryan take a swing at this and see what happens, and if we have any questions after that, we'll do it again. I'm not sure if there's a rake between in that 13 under. Does anyone know how many's in it? Anyone know how many's in the 13 under? No? There'll probably be one rake in the 13 under, I'm pretty sure. Okay, Ryan? So we'll do the single walkovers, then the a little line to the second set. It could be 2 or 3 or 4. He went for the 3. Make sure you finish that last walkover. You got plenty of room to make this shape here, okay? If you have to turn, face, I'm definitely gonna have more room in the other arena to make this work. I'm gonna tell you, if we haven't done this too much with the empty hole at the diagonals, it has a kind of funny look to it. You have to see it a little bit to get it, okay? Ryan, the professional he is, he gets it the first time. The second line, so you break to a jog. The first cone's on his left, which is on my side. So you got to kind of work to get that shaped up. So he's got a good line here, so you can get that foot over with the right front foot if possible. There you go. Then circle back, trying to prep the next pole. Try to get left front foot on this pole. Sit back. Get ready for engagement for the left lead lope. Let the pole come to you. Get the 3 strides in the corner. Doesn't have to be 3, but that's what looks the best. 1, 2, 3. Straighten it out. Prep your next line. Sit back. Get straight and cover it. Break to the trot. Give a little chance to break to that trot. Look slower. Look in the center of the gap. Stop straight. Execute your turn. Get your surroundings under control. See, the other gap is kind of fools you because it's in the center and the second gap's still left. So you got to think about that, okay, after you flip your turn, where you're at. So he's going to cover his corner. So he's going to have to stop and do a rein adjustment because he has to change hands. So he's kind of going for the slow-mo grab and go. So he's trying to add one more step in there. He's got it. Get that left front foot over that pole. You know, we like a gate that's quiet. We like a gate that's efficient. We like the gate when it doesn't open up the hole very big. Let the cows out. Looks stable. He's getting organized again. So he's got to get a little giddy up and go for this first 12-foot stride pole. If you guys get sucked back, it's going to be challenging. So he's got enough energy to make it work. Now he's got to get to the center of the poles. Find the center of that triangle. There you go. And trot. One pole at a time, one gap at a time. Let the poles come to you. This lope comes a little fast here, so you got to get organized fast. Cover the poles, good. Stay straight. Get your trot. Looking for 4 steps in these gaps here. Sitting back, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he has to determine which way he wants the side pass. He looks like he wants to go right. So he gets himself lined up real pretty here. Get that pole, cover that pole, get organized. Make sure his feet feel still. Try and get a little crossover on that side pass. Look stable, look like your footwork looks good. Stretch him over that pole to get off. That's a trick pull, that last one at the end, guys. Has money on it. Okay, give Ryan a big hand, you guys, for everyone who's here, man. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. Anyone have any questions on the pattern? Anything? Did we answer all the questions a little bit? Oh, there you go. Hang on, let me come to you and then we'll repeat your question. So what's your question? Yep. Yeah, so I kind of ran out of a little room because they had this here, so definitely a position. She's asking about the walkovers. That on the picture, it looks like they're a little lower here. I agree with her for sure. I think when I get more room in that arena tomorrow, I'll definitely put them in a better position so you can get that diagonal better for sure. Great question, okay? So she asked me about the walkovers, and I said I'm going to put the walkovers down here a little bit so the diagonals will ride a little bit better to that. Anybody else have any questions? Hang on, let me come to you. Which one? Oh, jogging out, yeah. So definitely show the jog out. Okay, sorry about that. So just because you're so far away, okay, you definitely should jog out, okay? Show me a couple steps and then you're off the clock. Thank you. Definitely jog out, okay? Because the other horse is going to be over there, so I need to get you out of the way, okay? So don't forget, you have to show at least 1 or 2 steps out, okay? I wouldn't pet your horse till you clear a little bit, okay? Don't pet your horse early. Definitely show the jog like you're in horsemanship pattern, okay? Finish the pattern, and then when you think you're clear, then you can stop. Like, as long as you jog off the course and then stop and pet your horse, I'm okay with that. I think you have to jog off the pole without touching him. Yep, we'll do it again. So walk off the pole, demonstrate the jog, okay? Then once you halt, we'll say that's the end of your pattern, and then you can pet off, okay? We just want you guys to clear out of the way, okay? So I think, you know, after you do the walk side pass, like me, before you go off, Ryan, like when I'm coaching this, and Ryan can do it a different way, it always makes me feel like you're stretching, like you're stepping up off that pole, not forward off that pole. I feel like you're going at the pole this way a little bit straight, where you have to give me a sense of a rising over that pole for that back leg, and don't let that front leg take off, or else it's chasing it a little bit, right? It's a little bit of energy of the rising over the pole because it's a bigger pole coming off that wood. And then definitely show the trot out like that. Beautiful. And then if he stops and pets off, I'm okay with that, okay? I'm going to tell the judge for you guys to show the jog, and then when they halt, they're off the clock. That's what I'm going to tell the judges, okay? Anybody have any questions? Anything else?